Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, powerful women of abundance. Lordine Jean-Francois here. Always good to connect with you all. So I started the live using Zoom, but I don't know what was happening. So I tried something different today. It didn't work out. So we're just gonna do what we know works. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here with you all. I'm gonna give folks a few minutes to get into the room. Today we are talking about self-mastery, the 3 blocks to self-mastery. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Say hello or drop a comment so I can know that you're here, so I can acknowledge you. I am Lordine Jean-Francois, clinician and women's empowerment coach with Abundant Consulting LLC. I am also the host of Love and Light with Lou, and we're live here every Wednesday at the new time. Hey, Roger, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. We are live. Hey, Miz. So you have to say I'm gorgeous. You're my fiance. You better know I'm gorgeous. You better say that. So we are live every Wednesday at a new time. We're live at 7:45. Now starting this week, and so welcome. As always, it's a pleasure to connect with you all every Wednesday for Love and Light with Lou, where we talk about all things pertaining to mastering our energy, right? Mastering our energy, harnessing our power, and really creating the lives that we desire and deserve. Okay. For those of you who do not know me, I am Lordine Jean-Francois. I teach women how to master their emotions and master their minds so they can experience the loving relationships, optimal health, and wealth that they not only desire, but absolutely deserve. And it is my pleasure to do this great work with you all and to share the gifts that I have with you all in this space and in this group. All right, self-mastery. That is what we're talking about today. Self-mastery and the 3 blocks to self-mastery. So when I first heard this term self-mastery, I was immediately intrigued. Hey, T. Hey, T. Because, who doesn't want to be the master, right? If you could decide to be a master of anything, right? Would that not be the choice that you would make, right? And so when it comes to mastering self, right? Being more in control of self, right? Who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? And so it is my absolute pleasure to support women with doing exactly that, right? With doing exactly that. Okay, because when we are the masters of ourselves, right, we are in control, and we have the ability to use our power to effectively create the lives that we want, instead of giving our power away in so many ways. And as a matter of fact, I have a masterclass May 14th. She Redeems, Reclaim Your Power and Thrive. And I'll be talking about the 5 power statures, the 5 ways that we women give our amazing power away, or our incredible power away. But nonetheless, self-mastery allows us to harness the power, the innate power that flows to and through all of us, so we can do what we came here to do, which is to create, right? To create the lives that we desire and deserve, all right? So looking into this topic, I found this amazing article on Chopra.com, right? Deepak Chopra, if you guys have heard of him, he is amazing in the self-awareness, self-mastery space. He also has a couple of meditation programs. Nonetheless, like very, very amazing thought leader. And so he talks about self-mastery in this context. To be the master of your own self is to fully understand who you really are, right? Amazing. It is a discovery of the guru within, the inner guiding light, okay? It means taking full responsibility for your own life, And it does not mean, it doesn't mean to control in a negative way. It's the realization, self-mastery is the realization that you are the universe, powerful, that you are the universe, and that you and everything around you flows harmoniously together in the magnificent dance of your own creation. Wow. Wow. Like, when I tell you, I've never heard a definition of self-mastery quite like this, right? And I said to myself, that's exactly it. Self-mastery is knowing the truth about who you really are, the power that you have, right? And your ability to create the life that you live, the life that you desire and deserve. Either you're creating it intentionally, right? And usually that we're intentionally or unintentionally. And when we're unintentionally creating, absolutely, Roger. When we're unintentionally creating, we're still creating, but we're just creating the things that we don't want, right? We're creating the things that we say we don't want, right? So it is my mission. It is my absolute mission, my purpose here on this planet. Hey, Nikki, so good to see you. My purpose here on this planet to make sure more and more women, especially melanated women, okay, are harnessing that power of self-mastery, right? Right? Because without it, we are completely at the whim. I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you made it. We are completely just at the whim of life circumstances, other people, our emotions, our thoughts, right? Or the thoughts we have, the emotions we have, right? So self-mastery is essential. It is essential to intentionally creating the life that you desire and the life that you deserve, okay? So with that being said, we need to know what gets in the way of self-mastery, right? We need to know what gets in the way of that. So here are 3 things, right? And these are just the 3 top things. I cover many more of the blocks to self-mastery, the ways that we block our abundance in my my coaching program, Flow, Live Life with Greater Ease. And if you're interested in that, feel free to shoot me a DM or you can connect with me on my website, abundantconsulting.org. But it's a 3-month program, and one of the things we talk about, right, are what are the things that are getting in the way of us fully using the power, the God-given power that we have, just from being an extension of God, right? The extension of the infinite, an extension of higher power, right? What gets in the way of us really tapping in and harnessing that power and using it to do what it is we came here to do? Okay, so if you want more information about that, please feel free to connect with me on this platform or on my website. So 3 blocks to self-mastery, okay? Block number 1 is blame, okay? Whenever we blame anyone or anything, right, for what we're experiencing, the situations that we're in, the feelings we're having, or the thoughts we're having, right, we block our ability to learn how to effectively master ourselves, right? Now, there's something very sexy about blame, right? Because if we can make it, yes, sexy. Because if we can blame other people, right, then that means that we don't have to look at ourselves and consider how we might be contributing to the experiences that we're having, right? But the tricky part of that, though, the tricky side of that is when we're blaming others, then that means we're not taking accountability. Right? And if you're not taking accountability, then that means that you're not making a conscious decision to change something about your behavior so that you don't find yourself, so we don't find ourselves in the same situations over and over and over again. Right? So blame is something that we do because you know we got these egos, right? And no offense to the ego gets a bad rap, but but it is there for our protection, right? And we're evolving with it and beyond it at this point of our evolution. But nonetheless, blame takes accountability off of us and allows us to make other people the bad guy, right? It allows us to make other people the bad guy. But what that does is it puts us in a victim position, right? And when we're in that victim role, then we're not using our power to make different choices so that we can affect the change that we want to see in our lives, right? Egos block blessings, okay? I love that, okay? Hashtag egos block blessings, okay? Absolutely. So blame gets in the way of us taking accountability, which really is, ownership of our part, our contribution to a situation, so that we then can do something differently the next time, right? Right? So blame, one of the blocks to self-mastery. The second block to self-mastery is focusing on what you cannot control. Okay, there are just things in life that we cannot control. We can't necessarily control all the thoughts we think. We can't necessarily control the emotions that come up for us or that we have, or the situations, the unpleasant, uncomfortable situations that happen just as a result of living this life experience, right? And so when we focus on the things that we cannot control, we lose sight of the things that we can control, right? Like how we respond to situations when they arise, how we take care of ourselves, the people we choose to invite into our space, our emotional space, physical space, spiritual space, right? So when we're focusing on things that we can't control, not only are we draining our energy, right? And by draining that energy, we don't have the necessary energy needed to make changes, right? To focus on what we can control and do something intentional about changing or addressing those things, okay? So that is block number 2. Block number 2 is focusing on things you cannot control, and that includes other people, right? Focusing on things you cannot control, which drains your energy and moves you away from realizing that you have the ability, to choose, right, how to respond. Okay, you have the ability to choose what you will and won't do, right? You have the power of agency, right? When we're focusing on things that we can't control, we give away our power of agency. We give away our ability to make choices, which really keeps us either in the same situation or creates an even worse situation for us down the road. Okay. So that's the block number 2 to mastery, okay? Focusing, self-mastery, focusing on what you cannot control instead of focusing on what you can control, all right? And then the third and final block to self-mastery is reacting off of emotion. And we talked a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago. Whenever we're reacting off of emotion, we end up getting stuck in the same karmic cycle. So we end up finding ourselves repeating either the same conversations, the same arguments, the same situations, right? Because we're not thinking consciously about how to respond to a situation. Instead, we're reacting off of emotion instead of responding based on emotion, right? Because our emotions provide, hey Sandy, so good to see you. Thank you for joining. Our emotions provide valuable information, right? They communicate, illuminate, and motivate, right? They communicate the things that, the needs that we have so we can get those needs met, right? They illuminate what's important to us, right? Our values, the things that have meaning, and they also motivate us to change, right? So we definitely want to pay attention to them when they come up, right? But we don't want to react. We want to respond, okay? We want to take a step back. We want to become the observer. That is when you step into mastery, right? When you're not reacting just off of emotion, but you're tuning in and leaning into curiosity and trying to figure out what your emotions are trying to tell you, and then responding from a place of awareness, right? A place of consciousness. All right, so that is block number 3, reacting off of emotion, okay? Instead of responding based on your emotion or based on how you're feeling or the emotions that are coming up for you, all right? So I'm gonna recap that. Here's a recap. 3 blocks to self-mastery, okay? Blame, right, which takes away our power to do anything about the situation, to change a situation, right? Focusing on what you cannot control, right, which just drains our energy and just creates more of the same, right, and reacting off of emotion, right, which just creates the chain of reactions that either keeps us in the same cycle or makes things even more difficult in the long run, all right? So why is this important, right? I like number 3 a lot. Probably my biggest challenge. Yeah. You know what? It's a challenge that many of us have, Roger, because if you think about it, how the best way to explain this is, we're just now really learning about the importance of mastering our emotions. I mean, these are concepts that have been around for centuries, right? Being mindful, being centered, being the observer, being more aware, knowing that you are the awareness, right? You are the master, right? But we right now consciously in the state of the world, the majority of people in this world, 80 to 85%, are more reactive, right? Yeah, exactly. We're just learning. Absolutely. Literally just learning. The majority of the people in this world are more reactive. We do tend to react based off of emotion because we're just now learning how to respond. We're just now learning to practice more mindfulness and centering and things of that nature. Consciousness is raising. So more and more people are becoming aware of the importance of slowing down, right? Slowing down and being more in control of our behaviors, right? So you're not the only one. And that's why the work that I do is so important, because so many of us need to learn how to master our emotions and our minds, right? So you're not alone. It's what brings everybody into therapy, right? It's what a lot of people look for in coaches, right? How do I learn how to deal with feeling overwhelmed or feeling like my emotions are out of control, or feeling like my thoughts are out of control, right? Or overthinking, right? So you're not the only one. You're not the only one. All right. And so why is this important? All right. It's important because self-mastery, when we don't practice self-mastery, we set ourselves up to be controlled, right? To be controlled by situations, to be controlled by people's behaviors, to be controlled by thoughts, to be controlled by feelings. We literally we're giving our power away when we're not in control or mastering our emotions and our thoughts, right? That's why it's important. And so what happens is we're then distracted from our purpose, right? We're distracted from pursuing the lives that we desire and the relationships and the health and wealth that we deserve, right? So practicing self-mastery is essential because it is the key to you living the life that you desire and deserve, right? Without self-mastery, you take away your ability to create the very things you want for yourself, right? The relationships you want for yourself, the job, the career, the wealth you want for yourself. When you're not in control or mastering your emotions and your thoughts, when your emotions and your thoughts get the best of you, it's hard for you to consistently move towards the things that you want for yourself. That's why this is so important. Right? So many of us get overwhelmed by anxiety or depression or thoughts of or self-doubt, consumed with beliefs that I'm not good enough or the world isn't safe. All of these things get in the way, right, of us moving toward the lives that we desire and deserve. And it's very frustrating because we're all here intended to grow, right? You are becoming. You're an extension of life force energy, which continues to become more and more and more. So you're destined to be the greatest version of yourself. And so when unpleasant thoughts and unpleasant emotions get us hooked and prevent us from moving towards the lives that we desire, we're bound to be unhappy, right? Because it's in our nature to become more, to become greater, all right? So that's why self-mastery is so important. Self-mastery is the key to you being able to create the life that you desire and deserve, okay? All right? So with that being said, here's one tip. Here's one tip for work towards self-mastery, okay? I want you to ask yourself whenever uncomfortable, unpleasant situations present themselves, even unpleasant thoughts, emotions that may come up, ask yourself, what would my higher self do, right? What would my higher self do? Okay? Because challenges in life are unavoidable, right? But that question alone gives you an opportunity to pause, to reflect, and to see things from an even greater perspective. Okay? All right, so unpleasant emotions, unpleasant situations present themselves. Ask yourself, what would my higher self do? Okay, that's how you increase your awareness. That's how you work on becoming an observer so you can be more in control, right? So you can begin to master, okay, your emotions and your mind. All right. I hope this was helpful. It's always a pleasure to connect with you all. Again, my masterclass, She Redeems, is May 14th. Early bird tickets are on sale. Yes, absolutely, Roger. I'm glad it was helpful. Early bird tickets are on sale. So I believe there is $97 for general admission, $117 for VIP admission. If you sign up for the VIP, you get a free copy of my ebook, 10 Habits Blocking Your Abundance, and a 60-minute one-on-one coaching strategy session with me, okay? So early bird tickets are on sale right now. Please get your tickets. You can get them from my website, www.abundantconsulting.org, or you can DM me and I'll send you the link, okay? Also, my coaching program, Flow, Live Life with Greater Ease. If you are interested in learning more about that, learning more about self-mastery, mastering your emotions and your mind so you can live the life you desire and deserve. Because challenges in life are inevitable, right? They're inevitable, right? But when you learn how to be with and move through and flow with your emotions, you can live life with greater ease, okay? And so if you're interested in that, you know how to reach me. Always a pleasure to connect with you all. As always, this is Laura Dean Jean-Francois. This is Love and Light with Lou. And until we meet again, powerful women, take good care, all right? Peace.